What's up, Mimi?
Hi, how you
Good. How are you?
doing? Doing good.
What's up, Mimi? Awesome.
I'm in the car, so sorry if you hear my background noise.
Nah, you're good.
Okay, good.
I'm still waiting for some folks to join, but let's pop the meeting off. All right. I'm the founder of the Forever 7 nonprofit organization, art-based, and I like to implement the things that we are going through. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to have a discussion about our mental health. I know, right? Yes. Mental health is extremely important. I have some questions. Okay, Mimi, how are you doing? Let's do a wellness check. How are you?
I'm living day by day. I'm doing it. I'm blessed. That's it.
Yeah, I hear you. How would you rate your overall mental health?
I would rate it like a 7.
Right? I mean, that's a pretty good number. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty
Higher
good
than 5, but not yet to the high numbers like 10.
Yes. And what do you do to get you to a 10? What can you do to get you to a 10? Like, what helps you stabilize your mental health?
Writing really helps me. Praying, meditating. Yes. All those things.
I feel that. Maybe we can do some writing prompts today. I have some writing prompts that Cynthia wrote. And maybe we can do some writing prompts. Like to get us all in a good mental space, like towards the middle of this meeting.
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Do you have like a routine when it comes to like your mental health, or when it comes to just like the day? Like, do you have a routine, a certain time that you have to wake up? Like, do you have a routine, and what does that routine look like?
Not really. I don't really have a routine. I need to start back. I haven't had a routine just because right now I'm not comfortable as far as my living situation. So once I can kind of get a handle on that, I typically wake up, in the morning around 7 or 8. I like to go right into meditating, like right away. Then I like walking to clear my head a little bit. I love to get out and walk for at least 45 minutes.
Nice. I was going to ask if you do physical exercises. So you like to walk?
I love walking, and I used to jog, but not so much anymore. But yeah, I'll have breakfast and I have a point to write either at the beginning of my day or once I'm settling down at the end of my day. I like to try to write in times that I know I need to center myself. Yeah.
And do you have like any precursors or any like symptoms that come on like that are like warning signs that you're not doing well?
My biggest warning sign is when I start to get really irritable. Like for me, like I'm not usually an irritable person. So if I get really irritable, that's usually my warning sign that something's probably off.
Yeah, I feel that. And what do you do? Like when you're getting ready to get irritable, what do you do to relieve that irritation?
I run. I run, even though I can't
Literally,
run.
I feel you. I feel you. Do you mean like in the literal sense, or you mean
In
like
the
you
literal sense, I will just jets.
I feel you. Being more figuratively, like sometimes I like to just like kind of brush my problems away to the side. Thank God for therapy, because I'm able to like talk through, those things that I don't really feel comfortable sharing with everybody. Yeah, I feel you on running, even though I do it more in the figurative sense. You said I run.
Both, girl. The literal.
It's really not.
Go.
I don't laugh at you. I'm only laughing. I'm laughing at myself, really, because I relate to that.
Oh, it's funny. No, it's fun. It's literally like
yeah.
I'm laughing with you because in both ways I can relate.
Yes. If anyone is watching this, though, I want them to know, like, I'm not laughing at you or them, anybody that's running. Because I tend to, right. I tend to do it.
What were we talking about? Because I missed it.
We're talking about. I asked Mimi, like, is there anything that she likes or anything that she does when she's feeling irritable to relieve that irritation? And she said that she runs, and we just both kind of chuckled because I can relate. I'm a figurative runner. Like sometimes I'll just like run away from my problems like until it's time for a therapy session, and that's not always the answer.
Right. Yeah. I know for me, like I'll watch comedy or I'll try to make light of a situation that I hear about, or I'll find something to laugh at. Like I'll look at a picture of a kid and find something to laugh at, so that way I won't lose my mind.
Yeah.
And that's outside of that's outside of church, that's outside of prayer and all that stuff. But I also pray and stuff too. But sometimes you don't feel like praying. And sometimes you feel like God is like, okay, feel like God is taking forever to answer. So it's like, well, let me just find something else real quick until I hear from God, or until I feel like hearing what God has to say. But right now I need to laugh, so I just find something to laugh about.
Yeah. Does that work for you? Does it work for you, or is it or does it cause more harm? You kind of like laughing at what's going on. Does it work?
Sometimes, because it's like, well, it's really not as serious as it is, and it makes me see it from a different perspective. Like you just tripping, or maybe you're taking yourself way too seriously right now. So, because like I know for a while I took myself way too seriously.
Yeah.
I started like making fun of myself, and things just like seemed lighter a little bit.
Yeah. So it's not really, well, it's a combination. It sounds like it's a combination of laughter and kind of like analyzing yourself in the situation.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Mimi, do you tend to do that? Do you analyze like while you're running any of like the things that are causing you irritability, or do you just run?
No, I typically run so that I can't think about anything except the pain in my legs. because my mind is one of those racing minds. Like I call my brain the rambling brain, because I'm constantly thinking. So when I'm running, it's literally to try to erase my thought process.
Yeah.
But the comedy thing works. That's something I'm learning to do now in my older age, just to try to, because I feel like, yes, sometimes like you do take yourself too seriously as an adult, and you need you need to just take a step back, and that's been helping.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That taking ourselves too seriously. Ooh, I feel that. Yeah, because sometimes when my irritation level is extremely high, everything is like a 10 on a 2, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's just like the smallest thing, like I tend to just like overanalyze, and just like it's hard to get out of that moment sometimes. Like I just have to just like kind of separate myself like from the environment that's causing me irritability, and just kind of sit with myself and analyze myself, and my
Absolutely.
from there. Yeah, we were talking about routines, Chanson. Do you have any routines that help you like with your mental health or your physical health or anything like that? Do you have any routines? Like, do you wake up at a certain time?
Yeah, like every morning, except for Saturday and Sunday, I wake up at 5:15. If I
Mhm.
don't wake up, if I wake up later than that, it's a problem.
AM?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, if I don't get more than 6 hours of sleep, I
Mhm.
have a problem. So,
Yeah.
or if I'm expecting somebody to be a certain place, like at work, um, if somebody is missing or didn't tell me that they weren't going to be there, I have a problem, because it's like, okay, they're not here, so what am I going to do now that they're not here? So
Mm,
everything has to be in its proper place for me to function.
I feel you. So you need structure, like
Yeah, yeah,
in what you do.
I'm really like, my mother calls me, my mother says I'm anal, um, because I will definitely fall apart if everything is not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one time she was in between using a cup, and I didn't know she was using it, and I threw it away. And she said, "You threw away my cup." I said, "Well, it was sitting here, and you were upstairs, so I thought you weren't going to use it." So um, I'm really, I have a certain way about doing everything, and if it's the least bit off, I have a problem.
Yeah. I hear that. Everything, every law and order, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. Like, things may be cluttered, but if one thing is moved out of its place, you will know. Like,
hmm exactly.
yeah. I hear you. What about you, Mimi? Is structure, is that, are you big on structure? Like, do you need structure? Do you need things to be not perfect, but organized and structured, like, bullet point list?
So I'm sitting here. I should have turned my camera on when you were talking, Chanson, because I'm the entire time I'm sitting here like, me. If I don't have structure, my life falls apart, completely falls apart. I mean, I've got a daughter, and so if we don't have our schedule together,
Mm,
I can't. The day it does not move as smoothly as I hope it will, and I'm irritated, and I just feel like it could have been saved. And I
yeah.
just went to sleep a little longer.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have a calendar. That's my go-to. When it comes to structure, that is like, that's my go-to. Outside of that, like, I'm not really, my pet peeve is it's different. But yeah, I guess I do need a little bit of structure. Like for events, if I structure events and they don't go as planned, I'm a little agitated. And hosting more events though, I've kind of like let go of that a little bit, where it's like, you know what? Nothing is perfect. It doesn't agitate me as much as it used to. In the beginning, when I was hosting things, it was like, it needs to be A, B, C. And now it's kind of just like, it needs to be what it is. Like, but that was even hard for me to come to that point, or that realization where it's like, you know what, everything isn't going to be structured. And even still, sometimes I require directions and a little bit of structure. So yeah, we on the same page with that. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Oh, wellness check. How are you feeling today, Chanson?
Oh man. Let's see. Well, I'm feeling better than I have in the past week. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good now. Working on book number 4.
Hey.
So I'm hoping that will be out. I'm hoping that will be out by next month.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm doing good. How about you?
Yes, I'm doing good. Yeah, this is our second event. Excuse me, this is our second event this week. And we had the open mic yesterday, and now we're here having the discussion today. And I kind of wanted to challenge myself, because in July, we're going to have 2 events back to back. And my anxiety was kind of like, I was kind of tense about that. Like, am I going to be able to handle this? So yeah.
Yes, you are, because you're awesome. And I'll be there with you if you need me to. So
I was gonna say, any help, let me know.
What do you mean? You're gonna be here, Mimi?
That'll be the 2.
Yes, I need help, girl. Yes.
Girl, you know I'm slow.
Yes, I need.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Speaking of help, is there anything that I can help you all with this month? Is there any organizing that you guys, excuse me, may need help with this month? Yeah, is there anything that the organization, the website, our YouTube channel, me personally, is there anything that y'all need help with this month that we can help y'all with?
Well, I know I need help with getting people to come out to my haiku workshop.
Okay.
I have a haiku workshop 2nd and 4th Sunday this month at 5 p.m. Eastern, and 2nd and 4th Sunday in July, 5 p.m. Eastern. So the first two haiku workshops went pretty well. There's been only 4 people that's been there, but
that's good.
Yes, it's going well. I just would like to get the numbers up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would definitely. Mimi has been the host during our open mic, our virtual open mic. It's her open mic now. Like, okay. She might have to give it a new name. But yeah, it's up to Mimi if she wants to promote that during our next open mic. We have an amazing feature. But yeah, Mimi, would you be down to do that?
Yes, and to actually attend. I will. Yeah. I'd love to learn how to write a haiku. I used to know how to do it, and then.
Girl, do you know how to count?
Yes, I know how to count.
Okay. I might need your help then. I might need your help at the haiku workshop, because girl, I'll be counting like. All right.
I have almost 2,700 of them.
Wow.
You said that is crazy. I mean, it's awesome. It's crazy in a good way.
Yes.
That is a working mind right there.
And truly, for those of you watching, and like you have a plan, a vision, or a goal, like Chanson is living proof that you can do whatever you put your mind to. He has written 2,700 haikus. Okay. Wow. And tends to, right? He tends to, what do you tend to do, Chanson? Break a record, right?
My goal is to break the world record for most written haiku and I'm aiming for 11,111.
Wow.
But I'm sure I go past that, but that's my goal.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. Sure you will reach it.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking for Cynthia. She wrote some good prompts for us. I'm gonna see. It was actually for the mini women's retreat. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't, or if you follow us. We had a mini women's retreat in Pasadena. We went to the spa with 21 women, and we went to Yard House after that, and everything was complimentary. Yeah, we were the sponsor for that, and it's on YouTube. Cynthia wrote us some prompts. Let me see. I'll ask us a question, and then I'll see if I can find those prompts. How does your mental health struggle manifest for you physically? That's a good question. Yeah, how does your mental health struggle manifest for you physically? Like when you're going through things mentally, does that affect you physically?
Oh God. Yes. Yes, it does. For me, it's my sleep and my eating. When I'm going through, like I actually, as some of you may know, I have actually been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And for me, when it's all out of Fritz, I cannot sleep. I can't get enough sleep. I will stay up all night writing, and I'll be praying, and I won't eat. So I guess physically, I mean, like that's a lot of stress on the body.
Yes. I feel you on the not eating part. A few weeks ago, that's kind of where I was. Thank God this week, I'm not there anymore. Yeah, my pattern is a lot better. But yeah, I hear you on that. Those things do take a toll on the body. What about you, Chanson?
Well, I've been diagnosed with major depressive disorder. So my hair is turning gray. I have moments where, like, I have days where I don't eat. Like full days where I don't eat. Sometimes it's um like an evening and a day or whatever like that. But some, like, how I handle it is not eating, or I'll write something, or sometimes I get irritable.
Yeah.
So it all depends how I'm feeling. But mostly is like irritation and not eating.
Yeah, that irritability is something.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do? It's not even funny how the irritability just be kicking in when it wants to. What do you do?
For me, sometimes I go to sleep. Like, I know, like, if I stay awake, like something gonna get messed up. Like it's gonna be a hole in the wall or something. So like I'm like, well, let me just go to sleep for a couple of hours and try to sleep it off. Or I'll try to watch something that'll change my mind, like Bridgerton, for instance. Like Bridgerton will change my mind about how I'm feeling. Watch something that has nothing to do with how I'm feeling, and depending on the intensity of it, I may feel calm within the next 10 to 15 minutes. The longest that ever lasted was, I would say, 6 hours.
Irritability?
Yeah. And it was on my birthday one year, and one of my clients did something that he pushed me. And so I was like really ticked off for that whole afternoon. And I wasn't really able to enjoy my birthday because I was so upset. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And what happened after the 6 hours?
I went to sleep. Yeah,
Was the next day better?
it was. Yeah, the next day was better.
Nice. Nice. Mimi, what does progress with your mental health look like?
That's what my mental health looks like: stability.
Mm.
And it just looks like me being able to, you know, do things that I don't want to do without getting too irritated about it, and
Mm.
getting through. It really is all about me not being too frank. I just get totally brutally honest
Mm.
when I'm in a way, and some people don't take that in the best way, and I get it, because it's tough love. It's not nice all the time. So
Mhm. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I definitely hear you. Let me know if you find any solutions to that.
I will let you know.
Yes, let me know. Yeah, even in my writing, sometimes if I try to take a step away, like even in my writing, I can be incredibly frank and blunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
but don't change it. We love that, man.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. The intense is really intense.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't afford to lose that. So
Yeah, we need Frank sometimes.
yeah,
Sometimes though, not all the time, just walking around. excuse me, you. Like meeting new people, Frank. Work in progress though. I'm learning.
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's see. Mimi, do you have any poems on mental health that you want to share? Let me see if I
We can.
I
Let me
have one.
grab my tablet. You can go first.
Okay. All right. We're gonna put up with these mood swings out here changing colors like a moon ring. Call me Maya Angelou, because I too know why the cage birds sing. Who gonna put up with these mood swings? Who gonna be fascinated by the fact that I'm not fascinated with things? Seem like everybody rushing for a ring. Meanwhile, I'm in the ring while it rains. Wish I had the answer. Does poetry really heal pain? Am I dreaming too big, or am I just insane? Life comes with certainties. One thing's for sure, God reigns. You should take God serious unless you me, because I be praying for him to quit playing. So who gonna put up with these mood swings? You know what I'm saying? That was a snippet of that poem.
wow,
I love that poem.
that was
Yeah.
hot.
It's a question I ask myself every day.
Girl.
Wow.
Girl, it's a journey. It's a journey. And you responded when I read this poem. You told me God.
I was gonna say, I would love that poem in writing. Like, put your name on it and everything. Like, that's a poem to pose. I feel it, and I can go back and reference it.
Yeah, that definitely is post worthy.
Yes. Okay, so I've got one. And this one's a little shorter. Of course, my favorite poem in relation to mental health, the very first poem I've ever shared on the Forever Seven, with Forever Seven, and that was Little Girl That Lost Her Footing. And that just because that's literally how I've been feeling for the past 2 years. But this one is more towards looking to start anew. And so this is what I have. The end of everything I know. Pastimes and half rhymes of emotions I don't show. Stopping in mid-sentence. Sentence to sentiment so unforgiving and demise to living words that breathe life inside of me. I can't stand this, but I'm the only one standing in my way, throwing shade to my mind's ability to capture creature tendencies and waves. A new wave. I turn the page and I may see the difference of majesties. Unsettling travesties for gravity, pulling me into a dopamine-induced coma. I can't see straight. An error, pulling hairs from the head of wise playmates. The playmaker who loses a game she creates. A curator who loses the love for whatever it is he curates. I loathe this yoke of life that ceased to boil through. Ultimate distaste for this new strife I'm carrying for blue. This is the end of uncertainty. This is the end of all misery. I'm headed towards the new. Let's start at the beginning.
That was
Izzy.
beautiful. That was
Wow.
good.
Yes. Wow. 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 Let's start anew. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Did you want to hear one of mine or?
Yes. Yes. And maybe we can write some haikus. We got
Oh,
time.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Meaningless. What do you do when your position is meaningless and they tell you whenever they get the chance? What would you do if they loosen their grip so you could work the way you always intended to strengthen the minds of little children? But I'm just a man, surrounded by excessive volume, compounded with heartlessness for 30 hours each week, bound to feel every attitude they have in that moment. After all, I do everything they don't want to do. Clean, put toys away, clean up pee, sweeping up food after meals, serving food and cleaning spills. In short, things I went to college to avoid. After all, my position is meaningless to you until you decide it is.
it was that bound to that got me. That was a double entendre. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow. What was that last line?
Um, after all, my position is meaningless to you until you decide it is.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, I don't think that you're meaningless.
Oh.
I appreciate that. It's just like at work, it's like they treat me like I'm a maid or something. Like go over there and do that, or um, yeah, you got to sweep that up, or I don't know. It just seems like I'm like in a like I might as well put on a maid's outfit or something. It's like that, and I'm like y'all don't realize I got the same like I got more education than any of y'all in here. And just because I don't have it in education, that doesn't mean I'm not educated.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I feel
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Bosses be bossing sometimes.
Mhm,
Bosses be bossing.
mhm.
Right. Bosses be bossing sometimes. I can't right now. I'm not in the mental space right now where I can work for somebody else. Because like you said, if you go into work and then things aren't structured and they're like, okay, we're going to do things like this today. Like I need scheduled scheduled, what is it? I need spontaneous, like I can't handle spontaneous. Like it has to be scheduled spontaneous. Like from this hour to this hour, we're gonna surprise you. Like, okay, I can maybe handle that. But like, no, like just come into work and it's like things are just in disarray or like different. Like, I mentally can't handle that. Like, and then I don't get to schedule it. Like, I don't like, no, it's not gonna. So kudos to you, for going into work and for tolerating and dealing with the bosses that be bossing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not my supervisor that's doing that. My supervisor is cool, but
Nice.
it's just one lady. She thinks that she runs the world.
Always one. Always that one lady. I can't stand that lady. It's always that one lady. For me,
I'm feeling a bit targeted. I am feeling a bit targeted right now. Which boss are y'all talking about now?
Oh, not you. You're beautiful, Rayanne.
You're awesome.
I had a boss named Tiffany like that. And when I tell you she was the worst, like this was years ago, and I still talk about her to this day. How much like power hungry she was. Like nobody should have ever gave that lady a supervising position.
Yeah, I feel that. Yes. What else do we have? I guess I can share another poem. Alex has just joined us. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Alive, but tired.
I feel that. We were doing a wellness check. I guess I just did it right now with the how are you? You're alive and tired.
Yeah, it's not even a bad tired. It's like I've been walking like a lot tired, like a very active tired.
That's good. We were talking about physical activity and what routines you have, like, to enhance your physical activity, which will in turn enhance your mental health. You've been doing a lot of walking.
A lot of walking and working out. And working out has been like, because I've been very much exploring like the past like 2 weeks. Like the other workouts have taken a bit of a backseat, but usually working out is like 5-6 times a week.
Yeah. That's what's up. Not that you're tired, but that you've been working out. How has your sleeping been?
We don't need to talk about that.
Right.
It's I think that's it. No, but my sleep's okay. It's not great though. It's not great.
It's not great. Yeah.
I mean, like I wake up in the morning, so I fall asleep at night. I wake up in the morning, so I get sleep, but I don't get the ideal amount.
And what can you do to eliminate you not getting enough sleep?
Just be more disciplined with getting myself to sleep earlier.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Do you have a routine?
No, it's usually the thing is like either I stay up late on my own accord and screw myself over, or I get a call from someone at like 12 in the morning, and then if I don't answer, they call multiple times. So it's I never silence my phone, so I suppose that's the other issue. It's that I'd say that and YouTube videos are probably my biggest downfall.
I think what we should do is like take 5 minutes to create a routine, or maybe we should take 5 minutes and write down Chanson's routine, because he said he wakes up at 5:15 every morning. Like, we need a bullet point list. We need this in a PDF, Chanson, your morning routine.
Well, I get up at 5. I wake up at 5:15. I
Mhm.
watch the news for about 20 minutes, and then I get in the tub. And while I'm in there, I listen to something on YouTube, and I'm usually out by 6 or a little bit before 6, and then I'm getting dressed while I'm watching the news, and then I'm out by 7:05, and I walk down to the bus. At the latest by 7:20,
Mhm.
get the bus, order breakfast at this place right off the bus stop, walk to work, eat breakfast, and just sit outside and enjoy the air until I have to go in. And try to get through the crap that the lady puts me through one day.
Yeah, yeah.
Understand. Wait, where do you live, Kansas?
I live in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, I work at the Y. So that's a very interesting place to work. I didn't even know they had a Head Start program um, until I applied and got the interview. 'Cause I always thought it was just a gym, but
Mm.
it's, they got different programs and stuff. So I'm glad to have a job, but it's like I don't want to be treated like that when I go to work.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I hear you. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Outside of your struggles with your job, is there anything else that is taking up your headspace that you feel comfortable sharing?
My mom, being here with my mom since the pandemic started, and just like having to give her like half of my check every month
Mm.
is frustrating. It's like trying to get back on my feet, but because I'm giving her my money, I can't get on my feet.
Mm.
And
Wow.
so, yeah.
I can totally relate when it comes to the parental conflict or
Yeah.
relationship. Wow. What have you tried, to get on the same page with her? Everything.
Well, I mean, I've shared that I don't agree with her.
Mm.
And she was like, well, you have to do it anyway, type thing. Um, and I can't even consider it a living here. It's like I'm just like I got my stuff here. Um, and so I'm here for right now, but I'm gonna get out of here soon. Like that's what my mind is. Like I gotta get out of here soon because if I don't, then I'm not gonna be okay. So
Mhm.
it's been 2 years, and I got just started working back in September. So I'm trying to give myself time to at least get a car, and then I can look to live in somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so
When I was going through things with my dad and I felt like we just were not on the same page, like I invited him to therapy.
mm,
He didn't go. but it was the invite. And then it was the conversation that I had with my therapist after that brought me healing. Yeah, maybe you can try that if you haven't tried it already. There was pain after that because he didn't show up. But it still brought healing because I was able to unravel him a little bit with my therapist or my feelings towards him,
yeah.
and And that was helpful. And maybe that will be helpful for you and your mom's situation, because like you said, I mean, like for me, my whole point and purpose of staying at home is so that I can, because I stay at home with my parents right now, is so that I can do what I want to do in the future, and possibly have this building for the foundation. But in order to do that, I have to save money. Yeah. And if my dad was taking half of my check, that wouldn't allow me to save very much money now, would that? And
Right.
that wouldn't be funny. It would be no point in me living here, really. Yeah, so I feel your pain and I hear you. And maybe that's a conversation. You can try what I tried, if it sounds like it's worth giving it a try. Again, it did come with pain because my dad refused to show up, but it did bring healing once I talked, with my therapist about it a little bit more. Like, ultimately, your mom is going to do what she wants to do at the end of the day, and you just have to decide, what makes you feel good.
Right.
Yeah, I think. But what do I know? I'm not a health professional. I've just been through some things and we have a similar situation. And I'm thinking maybe it will work for you.
Yeah, I mean, because like poetically, like she's never really supported my my passion. Like she always knew about it, but like after my books were published, like she's never read any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've given her my books and she's never read any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, well, I already know where you stand at. You don't support me, so
Yeah. What does supporting you mentally, what does that look like?
just like knowing somebody is there, like knowing I can like reach out and like at least let you know how I'm feeling, or can I run this by you, to so I can know what you think about it, or just so I know I have somebody in my corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do with you, like I'm like, well, what do you think of this? And you tell me, or anything that we talk about, I know that is in confidence, and don't talk about it going out in the street. So
Yeah. Mimi, same question for you. What is supporting you mentally and physically look like, or mentally? What does supporting you mentally look like?
I was hoping you wouldn't call on me because I'm in the car with my dad. Supporting for me mentally would just kind of like what Chan said, being able to voice how I'm feeling and nobody take it like, oh, it's their fault, or oh, like you shouldn't feel this way, but just listening and being an active ear. Let me tell you the things I've been through or how I feel at the moment. Physically, I've started a lot of different ventures, and I don't have much of a support system. And to me, that would look like just showing up. Like there's a lot of things, like my mom, my friends, like I've like, come on, like you use social media all the time. You told me I'm gonna do this on the social media page, or can you, like you don't have to do much, but can you show up to one of the events or something like that? Like, no, they can't. Is the short answer, and that's how I know I don't have the support. But it's that's what it would look like.
Yes, I hear you. Social media is a strange place. It's a strange place. People like, and it's just, it's a strange place. Like you said, when you call out for support, you kind of feel like, well, where y'all at?
Yeah.
It's a very strange place. Yeah. And I've learned too that it is what it is when it comes to social media.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm learning too that like one of my favorite artists is Isaiah Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about when he was starting, like how, like, when he started to make his moves within the music industry. And he was saying how, how his support system was, and how your support system is going to come from people most likely you've never even met before, or people who, people who take the time to get to know you and see something in you, that you never expected would do that. So I try not to worry about it because my family supports me in other ways. They're very loving, very caring. It's just when it comes down to my passions, there's none there.
Mm.
And see something in you, that you never expected would do that.
I feel that. Yeah. Once told me, you just are who you are.
There's a poem on that. I am who I am.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's like learning, that some people are set in their own ways and kind of like unwilling to change, like, or kind of like unwilling to see you as you are. And you got to just, it's hard to deal with, but you have to cope with that not everybody's going to get it. Yeah. Alex, what about for you? I forgot the question.
Yeah. I missed part of that because I lost my connection. But so what's it about exactly? Something with like sounded like about how we're perceived by others. I'm not entirely sure though.
Yeah, the question was, what was the question? Oh, what does support mentally look like for you?
Like from others.
Yes, or yourself. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, from myself, it's just whatever I can that's a positive outlet, or like, mentally, physically stimulating, like sports, working out, going on walks, writing songs, or making other forms of art, even just watching something kind of funny or relatable, listening to music, talking with my therapist or some like good friends that lend their ears very well, stuff like that.
Yes.
It's probably the most helpful stuff for me.
Likewise. Yeah, for myself.
And food. And food.
Yes, food. Yes, when I'm in the mood to eat, which thank God I have been. Yes. Yeah, for myself, it's just staying productive and staying busy. And sometimes even forcing myself to stay productive and stay busy and kind of get out of my head. Try not to overanalyze myself and things. And if I am, then create with that, Yeah. Monique joined us. Hi, Monique. Welcome. We've been having a discussion on our mental health and the last question that we had was, what is supporting ourselves, or what does support from other people mentally look like? Yeah. And we had some really good answers. Now that we talked about, is that the pros? What are the cons? Like, what things, do you know what your triggers are?
I definitely know I have a few triggers. But it will be like, I mean, like, there's self-imposed triggers, like getting myself too consumed with what's going on, for example, or or sometimes like trying to solve the whatever problem I have like too quickly, like just like feel like I have to fix it all at once instead of sitting back and like thinking. But then other triggers can definitely be like when just people who aren't actually supportive. There's plenty of people who don't really have, who just really have like their own interest at heart, and sometimes like you going to them will ultimately be more of a disservice to you than anything, because it could be like flipped on you against you in some ways. So just knowing how to like adjust there with like what information you give to what people.
Yes, I hear you. We kind of talked about some of our triggers earlier, like a lack of structure, or going into a place that typically has structure and then things are in like complete disarray. Or not even disarray, but just different. Like, yeah. One of my triggers is, I guess, not feeling heard. That kind of just, it makes me withdraw, and yeah.
That is actually also one of that's my biggest trigger, not being heard. But it's me, it's literally quite the opposite. Like I don't withdraw. I'm like, you're gonna hear me.
You're right. I left out that part.
I agree with that. I agree with that, definitely. I think that not feeling heard is the toughest when it's like coming from the people you want to feel heard the most by, like family or partners.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And like Mimi said, I can agree with Mimi. When I don't feel heard, sometimes that puts me in this like mental place or mental state of repetition. Like, let me continue to repeat myself, and then maybe you will understand. And that doesn't necessarily work. It's just like, yeah. Yeah. What about for you, Chanson?
Well, I know for me is kind of like, well, one of my triggers is feeling like I'm ignored. And so like if I'm telling you something, I give you three times. I give you 3 strikes. And if you don't listen, then it's like, well, if you don't hear me, you're not gonna hear me. And so I just get quiet. And when I get quiet, that means you got something to think about. And so when I get quiet, people get kind of scared because I don't get that quiet. And another trigger is, feeling like I'm unheard. Like you know, I guess those two go hand in hand. But like, you know, feeling ignored is like the trigger that makes me basically want to scream, because it's like, well, like, you know, I'm important to me, and if you're, you know, if you call yourself my family or somebody that loves me, you'll find the same importance in me. So, um, you know, you listen as well. So when I find that, uh, people don't, that kind of ticks me off. But another thing, like the last thing that like really it triggers me is, like a person, like, I guess basically like demeaning me or whatever, like, you know, objectifying me, for lack of better words. Um, and when I feel like that, it's best for me to get out the way. So I try to remove myself from the situation, or try to like stay away from the situation as much as possible.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. Yeah.
I'll add another one for myself. Is or two even, is when people constant, like, and once again, it only really applies if it's someone like who you really care about, who's really close to you. But for me at least, or it could be someone, or it could be a boss actually. But people who constantly find fault in you, like, just like almost like to the point of criticizing for the sake of criticizing, like, constantly. And also when people ask for you to take accountability without ever taking accountability themselves.
Yeah, I hear you. Nitpicking. Yeah, which I can do at times, especially if I'm irritable. So my apologies if I've nitpicked at you. My intentions are never to trigger any of you all. I have my own triggers as well that I'm working through. If I have triggered any of you all, are you watching? My apologies.
Oh no, you never triggered me, Rianne. We always been cool.
I'm sure I might have a time or two. Thank you for saying that though. Yeah, it's a journey. Valdi just joined us. Hi, Valdi. Long time no see. What's up?
Hi there. It's good to see you all.
It's good to see you. So we're starting off doing a wellness check. How are you doing?
For the first time in a while, very well. You know, I've been I disappeared for a bit, like the past couple months, where I've been going to testing and going and dialysis, and that for the past year, it's been like very hard to like come and like reach out and like do poetry and like mixing the eyes love and just to appreciate. But like, you know, can I getting better? I'm intelligent. I talk a lot. Um I well, today I actually wrote a good poem that I wrote in a long time. So soon I'm going to write that. I hope I.
Yes, we would love to hear that poem. I'm happy to hear that you're doing well and you've been writing. That's amazing. We were having a discussion about our mental health and what helps our mental health, like when we're in like a bad place. And yeah, a lot of us mentioned just the arts and how we write, like in order to stabilize like our mind and in order to stay in a good place.
Yeah, I for me, it's kind of debatable. I'm like a person that said art has helped me at first, but then it got to a point where it wasn't fun anymore. You know, like I feel like before, where I know this a bit more, but before my poetry about issues and like issues I see that in things that I saw. Like I was big on social justice and XYZ. But then when my depression hit, it started to become darker and more emotional, more personal. And like that's part of the reason why I stopped in the first place because I didn't want to it wasn't the energy or the message. It wasn't the energy or message that I wanted to bring out with my art. So like art is cool in the way art is cool in the way that a lot of creators express in many ways. I think it's also important to understand like what you're trying to achieve with the art. What you're trying to show is the art. And it's true that not everyone will understand it because like art can have everyone can have their opinion on art. Like you can see it one way, I can see it one way, and I can see it another way. Monique, I can see another way, can see it another way. I can see it another movie, can see it another way. And Charles Simpson, I'm saying some song, I heard him saying it. Can also see it another way. So it's debatable. So I feel like the most important thing about artists is that they can try it's your it's your way that you see when you see the art. And everybody else is just opinion. So that's how I approach a lot of things, not only art but like everything I do in life. That first what are my intentions and what are my hopes and when it comes to everybody else is like really just opinion. So yeah.
Yes, yes. I love how you talked about intentions and hopes. We were talking about like triggers earlier, like what makes people upset. And I was apologizing if I had triggered anyone and letting them know, that I have my own triggers as well. And my intentions are never to try to trigger anyone, Yeah, I'm happy that you brought that up. How do you deal with your irritability if you get upset? Like what helps you?
Meditation. Um, for me, I meditate almost every morning or every night. I meditate,
Mm.
And like for me, it's like it helps me how I feel my but inside day, I just feel my mind and go out of there and go back to bed. So that's really something that helped me. And the second thing is being around being around the right people, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm being careful because like last time we talked, I was in high school. Right? So I was around like high school friends, clubs, dances, parties, all things that students do throughout the high school year. But then got to college, I noticed that half a lot of relationships I had disappeared. And that comes with a number of reasons. Because part of it, like, a lot of this, like, I took a raise, some people don't talk to me anymore, and XYZ. But what I noticed is that the relationships that I still have currently tend to be going that have the most intention from the start. So like coming into college and just like I learned that it's important to be intentional with your relationship, right? And being intentional is not like an expectation is there. Oh, I'm gonna be his best friend, or oh, I'm gonna be his brother. It's like it's like it's like an acknowledgement. It is like acknowledgement that I want to do a relationship with you. Regardless of what that is, it can be a partnership, it can be a friendship, a relationship, or just like a team, whatever it might be. It's very important to be intentional with it so that whatever happens to it, or things change, you're not as worried because your intentions are always there from the start. And like, things can happen, of course, for sure, but like, as long as you approach it in the way you hope to approach it, it's kind of hard to be disappointed because like you're not worried. Because you're not worried about the other person. You're just worried about yourself and say that I'm doing what I have to do, I'm doing what I have to do. And sometimes it doesn't work out, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But I love to say like being intentional makes relationships more valuable than not having things at all. So,
Ashe. Meditating and surrounding yourself with healthy relationships. Yes, yeah. We were talking about healthy relationships and how they're hard to come by. They are hard to come by. Do you feel like you have, I know you have a large following on social media. Make sure you guys give Aldi's autograph before he goes, okay? I know you have a large following on social media, Valdi. Do you feel like you have a large support system? Do you feel like some of those people that you follow are your actual friends? Do you feel like they support you mentally?
I'm going to tell you this. Do not trust the numbers.
They're
They're
not following you for nothing?
No. I feel like I look at this thing. The past year I had to like block out so many people from a different account because like in terms of what I follow now, I tend to follow people who are either I'm actually okay with or people who are inspired by. You know, like just a bit of artist. I think that in terms of people I talk to, like I don't know how many people I have on Instagram. Let's say I have 500 followers on Instagram. I I contact to 20, 20 to 30 people outside Hindrance. So just to get the image. Like it's cool to have like thoughts. Like I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no to more thoughts. But like in terms of who I actually like interact with, yeah, it's like very smart. It's like people who I respect, people who keep it real, people who actually are authentic. Rather than with people who are interact with. And so because it's so many people who don't keep it real or who are authentic, I tend to stay tuned. This could be part of mainstream idea or mainstream concept. I don't, I try to stay away from that because like, I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm interested in the people who are who can independently think of themselves or think of themselves. Because, and it's not as artistic being you, right? Like nobody can be you but you. So it's not yourself. That's just part of the societal, this is part of the mainstream. But I see people who like introduce art or their motivational speaker, I can see the intentions and I can see like they're themselves. Like the people who are like, okay, let's interact, let's build. Because I want to be unique. I want to do something that somebody already did. I want to do something new. So like, in terms of my social media life, yes, I got a bunch of followers, but like, I tend to focus on people who are in this authentically themselves. And because there's not a lot of people, I interact with a lot of people.
That's what's up. Chanson, how about you and social media? Mimi was talking about social media as well. Do you feel like some of those people that you're following or that follow you, do you feel like they're your friends?
Only a very small group of them are actually my friends. Some of them I've known from elementary school and stuff like that, and maybe even high school, but some of them are actually my friends today. So I only keep in contact with those that are actually my friends today and not those that knew me way back when.
And do you feel like some of those people support you mentally?
The people that know me now, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Alex, what about you? You're on social media. Do you feel like some of your followers support you mentally?
Hell no.
Okay.
No, like if anybody supports me mentally that's a follower, it's not a follower, it's someone who happens to follow me that is like someone I just happen to also be close to, friend, family, stuff like that. But like I don't not like just random followers, acquaintances, stuff like that, people I just kind of know. No.
Do you feel like social media is more of a hindrance or is it more positive when it comes to your mental health?
Definitely more of a hindrance because I mean, first of all, like there's just a lot of toxic stuff on social media, like toxic conversations and debates. There's a lot of news that you get on social media that will be just unfortunately hard to stomach and hear sometimes. And then there's also a lot of fake information on social media. And the other thing is people have a very, I think overall, very superficial understanding of mental health a lot of times, who will actually talk as if they know about it and act like they know about it. So we'll take, for example, like a terms like gaslighting or trauma dumping. A lot of people on social media.
Trauma dumping?
Yeah.
That sounds like
So
something I've done.
Yeah, so trauma dumping is when you dump your traumas on someone without permission, right?
Right.
And it could be seen as like abusive in some circumstances.
Wow.
Although like people use it as a very loaded term. Now I was going through a lot recently, and I saw a post I related to that someone I knew from college had posted on basically something to do with relationships and the idea that people like partners could sometimes test you in ways that are like kind of messed up and abusive. I asked this person a question about it, and she like kind of responded, and I actually deactivated my social media for a day after, and then came back, and I'm like, yo, sorry for that, I've just been going through a lot, but yeah, I'm interested in this conversation. And then she asked me if I wanted to open up about it, and I said sure. And then I opened up about my the relationship with my ex and how things have been, and like thoughts of like, will I consider getting back with her or not, and things that I feel that she's done that really hurt me, and things that I acknowledge I did that really hurt her. And it turned out
We can hear you.
only skimmed through a lot of it, and went and told a friend of hers who happened, this was unintentional, who happened to know my ex, and then the friend of the ex ended up telling my ex and made it seem like I was trying to ruin her reputation. So it kind of came back around in a very unfortunate and negative light. I would never try to ruin her reputation, but she wouldn't, know that from that information relayed from this person, because this person, like I said, skimmed through this stuff and was saying that I was just bashing on women and trauma dumping her. But in truth, she asked if I wanted to open up. I said yes, and I warned her it was like over a 3-year relationship, so it was a lot of stuff. And I think she did like a very messed up thing, honestly, by like allowing me the space to share, and then not necessarily intentionally using that information against me, but not portraying it in a correct way by only reading through the parts where I was mentioning I was hurt by my ex, not where I mentioned I unfortunately hurt her. So I kind of learned from that, like, I'm not going to trust anyone on social media or anyone in general that I don't really know. Because, like, I don't know. There are a lot of people who are, like I said, they have agendas, they have narratives, they get to hide behind a screen. And on top of that, I would say there's just a lot of people who act like they're more knowledgeable than they are. So her using this term like, oh, trauma dumping. Not if, like, you could Google the definition and it will say that it's like doing it unsolicited without permission, basically. So if there's permission, it's not trauma dumping. Now, to just so quickly, even if it is without permission, I think you also could be compassionate enough to understand that sometimes people may accidentally do that unknowingly without bad intent. So I just think social media, that's not your real friends. Those aren't the real people in your corner. And like, at least for me, pretending otherwise would be doing a disservice to myself and allowing me to like repeat a mistake like that I don't want to make again. If that makes sense.
I hear you. Yeah, it makes sense. I've actually been on the other side. I've been the person who was trauma dumping. And that's why I don't have social media right now. Because I had to learn, I guess, what's appropriate for social media. Not everybody wants to hear everything that you're going through. And I thought that was the case. But yeah, it isn't always the case. Yeah.
Well, like I've certainly trauma dumped before, as I think most people have. I wasn't in that case, but like I think there's also a degree to which, as a society, we could just be more compassionate, because when you just live in a term-based world, it feels like everything is about a label, everything is about a term, everything is about a brand, to the point like, if on social media and through like consumption of a lot of like capitalist type goods, I think we inevitably sort of like just become versions of ourselves that are like made to be like brands, and we can't like express our authenticity in like ways that truly represent us, because we have to like be more wary of how others are going to perceive us, because it could damage our brand. And I think social media is a lot about promoting yourself as a brand, you being happy, you doing stuff and stuff like that. And then when people start going into these other things, whether political or not, just using terms to so strictly define psychological phenomena, or terms to group people and label people, I think you're kind of doing a disservice to individuals, communities of people, and just the soul of people in general, because you're just trying to fit words into like what your limited understanding of them is based off of you reading a few Twitter posts. Like, it's not authentic, it's not real. Most of us aren't like, political scientists. Most of us aren't psychologists or psychiatrists, but on social media, often it fosters an environment where at times a lot of us act like we are. It's like, I could go philosophical, but do you know like the whole thing about like Socrates, it's like being the wisest of men?
I was actually wait, Socrates. Is that with the dark cave ideology? Or is that Plato?
Well, Plato, I believe, wrote why Socrates is the wisest of men. And
they
it was
had
because
discussion at the dinner party. Is that the one?
It might be. I'm a little like bit rusty with the entirety of the story, but the premise of it is that like he goes to like a fisher, he goes to like a politician and stuff like that, and he's trying to find out who is the wisest. But it's whenever they act like, because they're wise in one area, that means they're wise in all these other areas. and that's
Yes.
not true. And he was the wisest of men because he was able to acknowledge the areas where he was not wise. And I think what has happened a lot in today's age in particular, which is like kind of a term I'm sort of reluctant to use, because a lot of times I think people will say like, oh, you know, women these days or men these days and stuff like that, kids these days act like this, and it's different than it used to be. And I don't think that's always true. But one thing I do think happens a lot today is that social media and a lot of aspects of like American society seem to promote what I think is like, sort of like cultural narcissism, where we all feel like our opinion is somehow more important than others, or we somehow are masters in all these domains that in truth we know little about. Like, how are you going to go and tell someone who's studied the science is like, you know, virology for like their entire life that you know more about it than them? Like, it's that sort of stuff. And that's always been around without a doubt. But I think like the anonymity, like the anonymous nature of social media and the way information spreads gives like um, a lot of ways for people to just be really nasty to each other, comment on things they'd usually stay more silent on, because they have like kind of a newfound confidence just to act like they know everything or that their opinion is somehow more valid. And that leads to like things like cyberbullying, harassment, and just poor discourse that I think really hurts our society and divides our society. And I think there's like a whole fascination with getting as much likes as possible, which is something I've definitely fallen trapped for, where like I'll be like, oh, like I'm not getting as much likes as this person or something. But I think like at the end of the day, it's not even like a real place, but we value Instagram and Twitter and Facebook way more than we should. And I do that. And it bothers me that I do that.
We've all been there. We have definitely all been there. Outside of social media, what do you do to maintain your social connections? Like, yeah.
Sometimes I fall off my social connections a bit, but generally speaking, I have a really solid group of people in my life. Like, I'll just speak on friends here because, like, as opposed to family, like, I'm close with my parents, thankfully. But for like friends, you know, just being able to like contact them like here and there, or some I'll be able to talk with every day. But like most of my good friends, we're just, I think, there for each other a lot.
Yes.
And that lends it to be like, I know if I'm struggling, they'll listen to me, and I know if they're struggling, I'll listen to them. It's like we don't gotta necessarily usually worry about trauma dumping or something, because we kind of have like this innate understanding of each other that, hey, if you need a lending ear, you'll get it. But also just trying to, you know, make each other happy. If we want to go out and explore someplace, like spend a day hiking or something. I have some friends like that I went hiking with recently. Like one of them wasn't even that into hiking, but knew I was, so they wanted to go. So that's something I'm not going to take for granted. And you know, sometimes like anyone, I think in order to like spend time and hang out with friends. You could like, you'll find stuff you both want to do. Sometimes you'll find sacrifices and be like, all right, they want to go to like Red Robin and get a burger, but I wanted to go and get a burger at some other place, you know? It's like you're there for each other. Like you don't put yourself above them and they don't put themselves above you when it comes to like your friendship.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's also useful in relationships too, because it's like whatever it is, it's like you don't, whether it's a date or something with your significant other, just making sure that like you prioritize your differences. So like that could be like respecting your alone time. That could also be like going to an amusement park, even if you hate amusement parks because your partner loves them, or them going to see a documentary that they would find boring but you would think would be really interesting because you love them, stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. Chanson, what about you? What do you do to maintain your social connections?
Well, I always have my phone in my hand, so I'm either texting somebody or using some other app to text them, or inboxing somebody. So throughout the week, I'm always inboxing somebody or texting somebody or calling somebody. So.
Nice. Yeah, same. We have events every Monday. Mimi is the host. Hey, we have a virtual open mic. And we're getting ready to do a live event in July. We had our mini women's retreat, which was amazing. Honestly, just keeping the business afloat, the nonprofit keeps me afloat. And that helps me maintain my social connections. I end up meeting like-minded people who like get it, you know, and get me enough to like stick around. And yeah. Awesome. All right, let's do a poem. Does everyone have a poem? We're getting ready to wrap this discussion up. I want to thank you all for coming out and sharing your stories, answering some of the questions, and let's get some art incorporated again. Mimi, you have a poem for us?
Oh. Can we come back to me?
Yes, yes. All right.
I just walked in. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Did you change your outfit?
No.
No. Baldy, you have a poem?
Supposedly I do. And I just learned today, so it's not completely new.
New
Can
spit?
I share my screen?
Yes, yes. Let me give you the capabilities. Share content. Am I the host on here?
I believe so.
Okay. Give me a minute. Chanson, would you like to share a poem?
Of
That way I
course.
can, yeah, and I'll figure out how to share the screen on here.
Okay. All right. So this is a haiku sonnet that I wrote about. It's a love note to my 5-year-old self. Stop biting your hand. Never give him the control. Know that I love you. Write your emotions and lift your head when you walk. True love waits for you, not in someone else. Always turn your eyes within. What a golden heart, but let no one tarnish you, lowering worth. Chanson, don't you dare cheapen your self-worth. Thank you.
Yes. Here we go. I'm going to make you the host. That way you'll be able to share your screen, Baldy.
Before I start starting, I really like your poem.
Thank
It's a bit different than I started, but I can see the authenticity in it. So it's all this.
Thank
All right. So this poem is to say I'm not. This poem is called I'm lost, but I'm pushing forward. And it's basically kind of like a reflection of what I've been into this past year. You know, like, I think this past year, a lot of things have happened from the person that I lost. And I had a person that was on me. I lost her who died the past couple of years. It kind of had a hold on me. So, and also like a lot I used to do. I just didn't expect. So I think this is just kind of like a poem that's like kind of me trying to push forward and just continue and keep pushing. So I hope you all enjoy it. I'm lost, but I'm pushing forward. Hello, everyone. The rest was surprised to hear me. I disappeared for a minute. I've been found this person anxiety. Around the fit up with so much negativity. I start flying because I'm tired of manifesting negative energy. I'm trying to understand life, to understand our ability at hand, to understand how to become mature and to become a better man, to understand how to be humble, but also be unapologetic and empathetic, to understand that there's much life than failure and statistics. I'm not sure about what comes next. I'm just an individual trying to appreciate life at best. All I know is that I can't get stuck in the past or keep trying to go backwards. I'm often confused, but I'm trying to keep pushing forward. That's it.
Yes. Those were beautiful words, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. I appreciate it.
I'm lost, but I'm pushing forward. I can relate. I can.
Mimi, were you able to find your poem?
I was. Mine is short, very short. Listen, there are people panicking all over the world. Can you hear them panic? And by panic, I mean calmly raising children to be Christian, raising the foolish to think they're gifted so we can bear our wish list at Christmas. An American tale as old as time.
Dang, girl. Wow. Okay. That was all?
That was it. Short and sweet, to the point.
You
Get it where it's hot.
You ain't had to kill me like that, though. Dang. Yeah, that was on fire right there. Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Chansom, would you like to share a poem?
yeah, I was actually writing one just now, but I'll share that one later. I'll share that one later because it's still in the works. Uh, trying to figure out which one to share.
I know you have 2,700.
Right.
Let's see. All right, so I'm working on a haiku book for children, and so here is one of them. Children create crumbs that end up on the carpet for me to sweep up.
Don't they?
Mhm.
There you go again with your double entendres.
Well, here's another one that's real short. This one is it doesn't have anything to do with kids though, but here we go. Nerds are hot. Trivial info make nerds smile.
It's true. Look at us. Look at all of us.
Right.
That's true.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Monique. Monique, are you still here? Is there anything you would like to share? Monique is on mute. All right. I think that wraps up our discussion. We talked about, do you guys want to share any more poems? Oh, Alex entered the waiting room. I think he wants to share a poem. Hi, Alex.
Hey, I
You
don't.
wanna-
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like the the service in the city's messed up. Because like I heard several people talking about it like when I left work. But maybe I'm in a better area right now for it. So I could give it a go. Hold on. Let's see. Let me just find a spot to. All right. So let's see. I guess I got time for one or two.
Yeah, do one and let's see. I think everybody else might want to do one as well. Do you
Okay.
guys vote to do another?
Yeah, my battery's pretty low anyway. But this one I just wrote. It's more topical. It's a song though. In my eyes, I see your face. Sometimes it goes. Sometimes I see it and it fades. Sometimes I see it every day. I close my eyes and all my tears have dried. I saw my eyes. I sew my eyes until the droplets die. Until the droplets die. Hey brother, how you been? I miss you every day. Falling after school, blazing at the park. At practice, we talk shit and we play. Joke and walk around and say, how you shorty, how your day, how the movie, how the night. We out to party. Now it's like, whatever it's like. In my eyes, I see your face. Sometimes it goes. Sometimes I see it and it fades. Sometimes I see it every day. I close my eyes and all my tears have dried. I sew my eyes until the droplets die. I sew my eyes until the droplets die. My dreams move and relapse like an addict. I see pain in my eyes, my vocals shaky like a Quaker. I think back to the days getting baked before he baked her. 25 shot, 15 dead, bullets poured with lead, empty out your head. Teacher tried to close the door. Miss Brownlee was no more. We hide under desks and pray to no Lord. Felt betrayed by the power, fighting bullets with whiteboards. See my friends go one by one as I play dead on the floor. I can't breathe, I can't see, I can't do no more. I smoke weed to get away, the weed don't do enough. Adderall and ecstasy and meth and heroin. To numb it's tough, to numb it's tough. It's rough. Every move into a pocket, my heart skip, it's a bluff. You little ass motherfucker could have just killed yourself. That's not enough. You killed my friends, my peace of mind, my teacher. Shut the fuck. I can't get out my own head. Repeating memories on a cycle in my sleep. In my eyes, I see it all as I close my eyes and count the sheep. In my eyes, I see your face. Sometimes it goes. Sometimes I see it and it fades. Sometimes I see it every day. I close my eyes and all my tears have dried. I sew my eyes until the droplets die. I sew my eyes until the droplets die. Then feeling fades, you can't see pain no more. Just knocking on that heaven's door. I call my friend and DM my bro, it don't work no more. The message delivered but never read. Voicemail left, no hello said. Watch the news, rinse, repeat. Is that Jericho high? Nah, rinse, repeat. Watch the blood, rinse, repeat. Lock the door, rinse, repeat. Arm the staff, rinse, repeat. Don't blame the gun for kids and sheets. Rinse, repeat. It's mentally ill. Fuck, I'm mentally ill. I never shoot up a school like I'm some freak. Just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Wow. Love the repetition. Love the repetition. Do you guys want to share another poem or should we close out? Chanson, you want to share another one? Baldy, you want to share another one?
Yeah, I'm working on the last line.
Go ahead. Mimi, do you have another poem you want to share?
If I share a poem, it's gonna be the little girl poem, just because that's the one that resonated with me. It's my favorite poem right now, you guys. It's when I was writing it, I didn't realize, when you're writing and you don't even realize what you're writing until you read it.
Yeah.
That was like that for me. Little girl that's lost her footing feels as though she's stumbling through life. Can't figure out which way is up or down, when she's wrong, or even more when she's indeed righteous. Little girl perceiving her life as incomplete, like there's a track missing to her superfly beat. A string untuned and electrified keys, a beam more dim than at first it may have seemed. Little girl who's so anxious and aware, so easily frightened of what might happen if she took it there. If just a little road was tapped in, taken, hers for the yanking. Young Betty who can't seem to float upward from sinking. Young Betty with big dreams but not one plan on hand. No, she gotta make a move before her heart rate expands, before she truly begins to heed the worldly reprimand. Betty, so past trying to fit in the sandboxes, unknowingly begins to build her own shed out of rocks and polymer toxins. One day, it'll be a movement powered by the Father. So monumental, no evildoers could block her. Young lady marching to a beat the rest of the world can't yet hear. Ever wonder why he guides the purest souls with encrypted hymns? I think it's because he knows we'll be less likely to end up like Ken and be unwilling to make adjustments for what he's got to give. Tick tock, pretty baby, give. And she keeps holding back all her inner ambitions, keeps on lying down the tracks of her sweet exhibition, thinking maybe someday I'll be back in the maze, standing tall and still, calmly washing my sins, wash away. Petite fille, I see you, hunched over, broken, scolded, molded and tethered from life's wielding, barely seeing straight, let alone in the spiritual space for physical healing, with your brain stretched, pulled in all the different directions of influences and perspectives. And oh, yes, most of them seem reckless, but still I raise a glass to the guidance guiding inward, the inner urge to leak her passions to a world so undeserving they'll only serve to obtain her as possession. And if I had a confession how I know so through and through, little girl, one day before he saved me, I was searching just like you.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, that was hot.
Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Wow. 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 Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you to come out here. We are having a live event July 27th, and Mimi is going to come out here. It's going to be a hybrid event. We are looking for features. If you would like to be a part, let us know. Email me. Y'all all have my email or telephone number or both. Yeah, Mimi is going to help me with the live event. It's going to be a relaunch of the website. We plan on having resources for artists, stipends, so that if they have any art projects coming up, they will be able to have funding from the Forever 7. Yeah, that's what we plan to do. Yeah, that's what we are going to do. And we're going to relaunch the website in July. So make sure that you check out the website. If you're coming up with any poetry books or poetry visuals or art projects in general that need funding, check out the website. Yeah. And yeah, do we want to share another poem? Baldy, do you want to share another poem? You done?
I have one more question.
Yeah, share it.
All right. This one is called Giving Birth, giving birth to a new king within me. I'm drunk. Some listen upset every time I go to sleep. Some listen I pass on my mind and give me anxiety. Some listen people constantly saying minding the free, minding with my karma and using it. I find it's not. And I can tell you, it was liberating. I'm tired of sickness, tired of self-righteousness, tired of the disrespect I put into so much kindness, tired of negativity, as well as its longevity. Fuck you to all the things that ruin my inner peace. Now that got off my chest, I can finally breathe. I'm accepting my past, and I'm ready for a new journey. I honestly don't know what I'm about to see, but it is time to give birth to the next king within me. That's it.
I'm tired.
Me too.
Right? Of the
You hit it.
unrighteousness. I hear you.
You hit it.
All right, so I have one, but I'm gonna have to turn my camera off so I can read it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. She's Rayanne Chanel. She's fine as the day is long, angelic poet. Her smile warms my heart when she holds on, eagles grin, banks will bounce because she walks in favor. Mercy is her God flavored, sparkle of sunshine. Dear, I wish all words would visit your ears and all the ink will follow your footsteps.
Mm.
Thank you.
Shay, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Alex, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Would you like to do another poem?
Let's see.
Close us out.
Um, I'm just walking. I need to take a second to stop and look.
Let me see if I can find a poem while you do so. Or I can finish this poem.
I mean, I found one, but
All right.
all right. This was the one I was gonna do for Memorial Day. When we had that whole thing going on. But it's like I remember swinging bats in Steel City streets, running over gravel in summer heat. Appalachian mischief as a little kid, running from the law is all I did. Mama told me, kid, you need discipline. Your father can't do it, he's drinking shine, it's no way to live. I can smack you once, twice, you won't get the memo. Officer Jenkins knocked on the door and said, you a crazy fellow. But Ma, I'm just having fun, I don't want no trouble. This big world so small, I'm stuck in this bubble. I need love, but Pa, he don't love me and he don't love you. He just loved his whiskey, his beer, his shotgun, and muzzle. Got some friends, but really got no brothers. All the cool kids deployed. I'm just waiting for an out to die in town. The industry left, probably why Daddy's always down. Plus, since he served in Okinawa, Ma says he's scurried all around. No more morning coffee, just a bourbon and a smack. No more morning hug, a kiss or ride to school and back. Just a stumble in the door shouting, get your ass up, you little fool. Ma and I continue fighting as Papa got buried. Most my mischief was behind, replaced the streets with fascination for the military. Clearly, I can run, fight a little too. Pop's lasting lesson was shooting. I shot my first gun when I was 2. Just kidding, it was 7, but I know I won't miss my target. Rumbling from overseas, saw the commies, was in the South Asian market. Instead of getting drafted, thought I'd sign my ass up. Love for country and brotherhood's enough. Ma was proud, could not complain. She liked the path I was taking. Instead of criminal, I'd be a hero for the nation. After basic training, I left Tallahassee for Saigon Station. I felt a clean air like a breath I'd never taken. The city bustling, the forest dense. The woman special, the allies good. Fight the commie devils, but let me level. The rest, it ain't so special. 2 years ago, saw Jeff Kenny, Mike DeQuan, John Ron, Donald, Don, perish from nail bombs, poison spikes from Viet Cong. General Sean set fire to the village, let the scum burn on. Lost my soul in battles, knew I was not a hero. Heard reports from home saying all troops are evil. Kent State kids killed soldiers either come back in caskets or get spit on. Wouldn't even want to fight no more, just live on. The world descended into madness. I need to catch the next ship. I can't sleep. I see bodies. It's tragic. Perspective's a bitch. I wish before I had it. I came home in March of 71. They didn't understood what I saw and had done. I couldn't talk to mom. I couldn't hold my job. I couldn't leave my home. I found drugs, coke, so my mind was not alone. I robbed a gas station, slept on streets, got an infection of the bone. I had to serve and be back. The life was worse than numb. The constant stress of nothing meant something was surely wrong, like a ticking time bomb. All loud sounds are like horror music. Suspense is over. Dramas overdrawn. As time went on, I begged for change and grabbed a cane. I took off the hat I wore with pride. The world was not the same. No longer do they hate us, but I hate me all the same. You call me a hero, but on my trips I feel I'm to blame. But don't blame, just talk to me and let me explain. I'm just a man in a cruel game, fighting another man's battle, finding enemies with no names. I couldn't look Ma in the eye, but cried and drank heavily when she died. I became my father after war. I understand him now. This is the cycle of their lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Earlier we asked Chance on if there was anything, I think I asked Mimi as well, if there was anything we can help with this month. Is there anything that we can help you with this month? Do you have any art projects coming up? Well, anything?
Me?
Yeah, Alex.
I'm not sure if I have anything coming up this month. Well, I mean, I have a lot coming up in the month with like kind of like resettling just since I'm leaving my job. But like in terms of specific art projects and writing, just I wouldn't say like I have anything truly booked or planned at this moment. But I'm open to like, you know, I'm open to anything basically.
Awesome. We're having a mini writers retreat on the 28th, the day after the 27th. And yeah, you should pull up.
Where?
I think it's going to be to be announced. But it's going to be on the 28th.
Sounds good.
Yes. Baldy, is there anything that we can help you with this month? Or next month? This month is coming to an end. May bonds.
Not in particular. I mean, I think right now is trying to get back into it, you know. Like today was like my first poem out in a while, so I'm just really going into it, and also I kind of reclaiming a lot of personal attributes that I haven't had in a while. So I think I'm new from that.
Awesome. Mimi, what about you?
Well, so I don't know how you guys will go about helping, but I've just recently started on the app Bigo, and I don't know what anybody has heard about this Bigo app, but for me, okay, for me, it's solidly just promoting. So a little bit of what I do is I do the open mic. I stream the open mic on Mondays. And then I also have a follow-up panel on Tuesdays as an open mic. So on Saturdays, I'd like to make it a bigger thing. This game I've made up called The Great Debate. And it's a game that I made for my family, my rambunctious Black Southern family, you guys. So we're loud and like tad bit ghetto. It's okay. We love each other. And I made this game so that we could have decent conversations without screaming over one another. But it's actually a pretty cool game. All you do is you choose a topic, you know, whatever the topic is that people are disagreeing on. You have a debate about the topic, and the only rule is you have to write down whatever it is you're thinking. Like you have to write a rebuttal. You cannot talk over the person. And that's literally why it's called the Great Debate. So I want to make that a thing, because every time I try to do it on Saturdays, I get some people, I get some nut jobs, okay? And I'd really like to play this game. So even if it's like you helping me with just finding some people who would be willing to play. I don't have any money to offer anyone, so it would be strictly just off of just something, fun to do in spare time, and it does not have to be on the Bigo app. I just really want to play. I want the content just to have. It could be on YouTube. We could do it on Zoom, but I really want to play this game and make a production out of it. And see how it goes. And then maybe if it goes well, then maybe I'll do it again. If people like it. It doesn't always have to be so serious. It could be about, I don't know, who's better, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj? I don't know. What do people argue about nowadays?
Right.
Speak about whatever.
Yeah, I can definitely help you with it. Let's talk via text and we can set up an Eventbrite or something. And don't forget, Chanson has a haiku workshop the 2nd and 4th Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's try to support his event. I will be to at least one of them. And that's on Sunday. Yes, I will.
Yes. I can do that. I can do Sunday.
Other than that, let's see, I have a poem to close this out. It's still a work in progress. We are having a mini writers retreat on the 28th. If you're going to be out in the Pasadena, California area, pull up. Mimi's going to be out there. Yes, Monique, pull up. This is one of the poems. We are partnering with another nonprofit organization, Compassionate Arts, and they're doing a lot for the arts. They actually introduced me to Alex, and they're about health, wellness, and the environment, and incorporating the arts into that. This is a poem that we are going to present. I'm going to be the host of the writers workshop, and this poem is going to be a broadside poem. All things are living, even the dead. My healthiest relationship exists in my head. Toxicity is being fed like litter in the underserved community. I'm seeking immunity with love. Sometimes that comes in the form of flowers. I try not to let the branches of pain grow. Flowers protect my soul. Pink fluorescent flowers remind me of my beauty, soft, kindred, kind, and nice to look at when it's time to unwind. I'm seeking immunity with the love of nature. The love that hurts you sometimes, but won't ever leave, like the planet and solar system, full of diversity and disparity. Disparities eat at livers like cigarette butts, but nobody is perfect like this planet, round or flat. So many different facts. The fact remains. People have died and Earth has remained. I'm seeking immunity with love. The thin line between love and fate carries on like on a long one-way street, gas tank empty and no sense of direction, just faith that I'll get there. Love that shakes your world up, makes you unsure if dirt can ever be soil, like the safety of our children during turmoil. Safety in a habitat that sometimes lacks humanity, and insanity seems to be the only answer of things that are which we are unsure, except it's not. Our negative energy rots while water feeds the depression of the universe. Greed isn't the only color this earth has to offer. If only trauma was biodegradable, instead we plant seeds of infestation, malnourishing the world of love, positivity, flowers, and things that grow. That's a snippet of that poem.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Was awesome.
Thank you. You guys are all awesome. I want to thank you all for coming to talk today and being so vulnerable. We talked about meditating, relationships, triggers, uncertainty, social media, social connections, and hopefully we all walk away from this conversation feeling refreshed. Right?
I do. I feel like today's Sunday, actually.
Right. Right. And don't forget to pull up to Chanson's haiku workshop the second and fourth Sunday. Speaking of Sundays. Other than that, thank y'all.
Peace and grace, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.